Pupil against teacher. Andy Reid against Doug Peterson. Andy Reid against his former team. Andy Reid 8-3 against former assistants. The storylines coming in were juicy. Let's get into the highlights now. Chiefs and Eagles, week number 2.
Oh, those tendencies, those goddamn tendencies. 3rd and long, of course it's a screen. And it gets picked off by Chris Jones. Ugh. You show Carson Wentz all this faith, letting him throw the ball 46 times. But when it's 3rd and long, you do the opposite. You bring in Alshon Jeffrey during the offseason. Carson Wentz has weapons now. He's in his 2nd season. There's no reason for this. Now, granted, this was a well-executed Kansas City blitz. Carson Wentz didn't have a lot of time. He would have had to scramble immediately. But 3rd and 12, I would much rather trust Carson Wentz throwing the ball beyond the sticks than what happened right here. The Eagles didn't even try to run the ball with LeGarrette Blount. Each time he was in the game, he was used as a decoy. Lined up under center, you got the tight end on the line, you're thinking run, but Dougie getting cute with it and calling pass each time. So this one, you see the extra lineman on the field, and, well, that didn't work. And this was the one carry LeGarrette Blount actually had, and he went nowhere. 46 passes and only 13 designed runs. That is unacceptable. The strength of the offensive line is actually running along the perimeters. Jason Peters, you can see here, great block on the edge. Lane Johnson, the block here. So when you get Kelce on the move, you got Lane, you got Jason Peters, that's where the Eagles are at their best. And Darren Sproles actually runs these plays better than any back the Eagles have. But you can't keep relying on this. Now, here's why I think LeGarrette Blount's not getting a lot of carries up the middle. The Eagles are struggling up the middle. Seumalo is getting eaten alive. Jason Kelce can't push people backwards. It's a problem. A change I'm making next week against the Giants. Stefan Wisniewski is going to be my starting left guard. Isaac Seumalo allowed 4 sacks on Sunday. So not only ineffective pass blocking, but ineffective run blocking as well. So you got a problem at left guard and you got a problem at center if you want to run the ball up the middle because you got 2 guys that are struggling to push people backwards. So I'm putting Stefan Wisniewski in at guard next week. I'm giving LeGarrette Blount more carries, and I'm getting Corey Clement carries too. Come on, Doug. Let's go. All right. I've done so much bashing already on Doug Peterson, on the offense, on the running game. Let's take a look at the silver lining. 4 more sacks from this defensive line. Another dominant performance by the defense, and it should not go ignored because this Eagles defense is going to keep this team in games all season long. Fletcher Cox was unbelievable. Brandon Graham, unbelievable again. Michael Kendricks, the success in the preseason has translated into the regular season. Vinny Curry had a big game yesterday. So it was a group effort from this entire defensive line. You see Chris Long register a sack as well. But it wasn't just the pressure on Alex Smith. At the end of the day, Kareem Hunt's numbers look great. 13 carries, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. But if you take away the 53-yard touchdown, Hunt only had 28 yards on 12 rushes. That is a 2.33 yards per carry average. This Eagles defense is dominating. They are swarming to the football, and I love it. I love watching this. Oh my God, Kendricks just flying to the ball. It's impressive. A reason why the defensive line has been able to eat, the Eagles are getting some pretty good cornerback play. It's kind of surprising. Jalen Mills, aside from the Chris Conley reception in the 4th quarter, played pretty well. And then there's Rasul Douglas, progressing nicely. Struggling at the start of training camp, well, he's starting to figure things out, and he looks pretty good. For the first 2.5 quarters, we had ourselves a Donnybrook. And then the Eagles were able to put a drive together. Carson Wentz 5 of 5 for 70 yards on the go-ahead march, finding Jeffrey there, and here's Mack Hollins doing work on Marcus Peters. Look at that route. Hollins was getting more playing time on Sunday, and I was loving it. And here's the touchdown. A wheel route from the slot for Jeffrey, little back shoulder ball, out muscles Phillip Gaines near the goal line, and we got a touchdown and a 10-6 Eagles lead. The Chiefs go back in front on their ensuing possession. Here's Kareem Hunt's 53-yard touchdown run. Terrible angle by Corey Graham in the secondary. He had to fill in for Rodney McLeod, who left with a hamstring injury. Next, Eagles possession. Nice little drive starter here. Alshon Jeffrey on the comeback route on Terrence Mitchell. So they move Jeffrey around the formation. He finds success, 7 receptions, 91 yards, and a touchdown, being away from Marcus Peters all day. 3rd and 13. Here's Carson Wentz at his finest, scrambling and diving and lunging to move the sticks on 3rd and 13. And let's talk about Mack Hollins a little bit. We got to get this kid involved in the offense because Nelson Agholor did not show up on Sunday. Mack Hollins not only beating Marcus Peters one-on-one, but as you can see on these 2 plays here, he's a threat in this offense. I got to see him on the field more. And Jake Elliott making the 40-yard field goal to tie this game at 13. So we know about the horrendous play call and the screen and the turnover, and here's what the Chiefs did with it. The good old shovel pass. Oh, how fitting. Travis Kelce jumps over everybody to get into the end zone to give the Chiefs a 20-13 advantage. And then they put a bow on it. Chris Conley, just a step on Jalen Mills. What a throw by Alex Smith down the right sideline. 3rd and 3. Here's Kareem Hunt picking his way for a first down, and then he scores, powering in from the 2-yard line. 27-13, Kansas City. Late stages of the game here, Eagles frantically trying to come back. Nelson Agholor finally decides to get in on the fun, hauling in this touchdown in the back of the end zone. Trey Burton, what an outstanding job tipping this onside kick to himself to give the Eagles one last shot. One last Hail Mary throw into the end zone. Great throw, great trajectory. Eagles had 3 guys in position to make a play, but the pass falls incomplete. Let's talk about the final 121 of the first half. What a crazy turn of events. So you got Darren Sproles on a punt return, fumbling. He never fumbles, but he does here, setting up the Chiefs in prime field position. The Eagles defense, however, rises to the occasion. Look at Hicks close in on Smith, forcing the throwaway. Cairo Santos hits this 39-yard field goal, and the Chiefs take a 6-3 lead with 21 seconds in the first half. As I explained, great hold by the defense. And then you got this. 12 seconds left in the half. Why not throw it up? Left sideline, Zach Ertz comes down with this craziness play. That sets up Jake Elliott with 2 seconds left with a 30-yard field goal. But a la Caleb Sturgis, he hooks it. Caleb Sturgis misses his first career field goal with the Eagles, as does Jake Elliott.
I'm going to end this video on a positive note. Because guess what? The Eagles are still the best team in the NFC East. You know why? Because of this defense. This defense is no joke right now. Through the first 2 weeks, they are dominating. Absolutely dominating. And if Doug Peterson can get his head out of his ass, this team should win the NFC East. I am not impressed by the Dallas Cowboys, especially after that 42-17 drubbing yesterday. And this Giants offense doesn't scare me at all. Maybe I'm sleeping on the Redskins, I don't know. But if Doug Peterson can just figure things out just a little bit, this Eagles team should win the division. They really should.